Back in the days, I knew rap would never die. I used to listen to Awesome 2 on WHBI. I used to hear all kind of rap groups before sampling loops. Rappers wore bell-bottom lease suits. Me and Kenny couldn't afford that, so we would go to the park when they was jamming and hear rap. I used to listen to the cops broke it up. I always thought to myself, damn, why they fucked it up? But nevertheless, I was in love with the microphone, and it stayed that way until I left home. On the streets of New York, now I'm free. But with freedom comes big responsibility. I used to walk around driven by the force. I remember how large Super Rhymes was, but he fell off. I used to wonder about crews they used to rock. They were large, but none of them could manage to stay on top. Do you ever think about when you out of here? Condominium and beach house out of here. Credit cards and bank accounts out of here. Fly girl and fresh gear out of here. $5,000 love seat out of here. Record deal and video out of here. Mercedes Benz and Range Rover out of here. After living on the streets alone, some years went by, I saw myself into a group home. I used to watch the show I Dream a Genie and dreamt about when will I be large like Houdini. But I was messing with graffiti on the subway and getting chased by the cops almost every day. I knew it had to be a better way, see, so I would go to my room, blast Run DMC. Around 1984, I left the group home again alone, still dreaming about the microphone. Give me a chance, man, I know I could rock it, but I had to worry about putting money in my pocket. So when I reached the showtime, met my helper, DJ Scott LaRock, and we both loved hip-hop. I was taking suckers out in the shelter system. Yeah, there was rappers in the shelter, but I had to diss them. But all along, my vision was never lost. I kept seeing all these rap groups falling off. Do you ever think about when you out of here? Condominium and beach house out of here. Credit cards and bank accounts out of here. Fly girl and fresh gear out of here.
Don't complain. Don't talk negative. That's average people talk normal. Average people talk problems. The greats talk solutions. Average people use their time to whine and complain. Average people say it's their boss' fault. It's their mother's fault. I used to be average. I used to say, when is my daddy coming to get me? When is my biological father gonna come in my life? And when I would talk like that, I ended up getting kicked out of school. And while I talk like that, I ended up being homeless. And while I talk like that, I was broke. And then one day I woke up and said, Eric, nobody's coming to save you. Nobody's coming to get you. But you can go to the library and get yourself. Don't.
Good afternoon. Welcome to the Wyatt Live 1 p.m. Facts Over Feelings show. If you're here, hit the like button. If you love yourself, hit the heart. How was your weekend? How was your weekend? I almost didn't make it today. I know I say that all the time. You just don't know how tough it is to hit the power button sometimes. Let me get this microphone right. Did everyone have a great weekend? If not, I'm sorry. But guess what? You're here. If you're here right now to be able to say that you had a crappy weekend, you made it through. Don't be average. Don't be average. We're survivors. We're all survivors. If you made it through a crappy weekend, you're here. We made it. Good afternoon to everyone, man. Let's get to it. How's everybody doing today? Not over the weekend, all that. How's everybody today? We good today? Did Monday, are we making it through today? Are we making it through today? Let me just say this. I hope by the end of the show, I can bless all of us, including myself, with a much better productive day. I'll be honest with you. Quite frankly, today has been tough for me. But I feel a lot better now that I'm here with family. I feel so much better now that I can kind of speak my mind, relieve some of my frustrations, and have a conversation today. Let's have a conversation. I didn't really prepare anything. Do I really have to? I'm sure we've seen something over the weekend that makes us say, that make us say, hey, why is that? How did that happen? What's going on? I had a couple things in the news that I wanted to ask about. I don't know if some of this stuff is true or not, but I find it to be a little interesting. And one of the things, and I know some of y'all gonna beat me up in the DM for even asking about this, but I think it's relevant because I've had a conversation about this before. What's up with the Steve Harvey shit? What's up with the Steve Harvey shit? Is that real? I mean, is that real? Is the Steve Harvey him going through a divorce and his wife messing around with him and all that? Is that a true story? Amber, what's good, sis? She says no. She says it's a lie. A lie. Now, of course, y'all sitting here wondering what the hell, why am I talking about that and not giving all my energy to the Florida shooting? I'm just acting like the people in Cincinnati when there was a shooting at the Dollar General store in Cincinnati. Them motherfuckers didn't talk about it. So why should I talk about the one in Florida? Why should I talk about the one that gives so much energy towards something that was, that is a local situation? Now it wants to be a national story. It wasn't a national story when the little boys got shot up in the Family General in Cincinnati, Ohio. Nobody in Alabama knows about Lil Pup losing his life in Cincinnati. Nobody knows about Lil Pup losing his life in Detroit. They don't know about that. So why we all up into this one that happened in Florida? I'm just asking. I'm just asking. Nobody cared about Lil Pup or the black kids that's getting shot in the Family Generals in Cincinnati. Nobody cares about that. So why should I sit here and lead out and talk for 2 hours, possibly 3 hours, or maybe just an hour of something that the media has now put out, the manifesto and all that old shit? I'm still waiting to see about the manifesto in Nashville. I'm still waiting to see why did that person go into that school and shoot them kids and the black person? I'm just trying to figure that out. Why is it that the manifesto is too dangerous? They don't want a copycat killer for if the manifesto is released from the Nashville shooting, the families, they don't want to respect they want to respect the family's thoughts and the sensitivity of the family in the killing in Nashville. But they don't give shit about the black family, or they don't care if a copycat killer comes off based on the manifesto of the Florida shooting. So why should I sit here and talk about a shooting in Florida that's just like the shootings in every city in the city? I mean, if you want to, it might not be exactly like them, because they're saying that the shooting in Florida, based on the manifest that they're going to release and that they said right away, and I do have a clip on that, based on that manifest, he didn't like black people. So he specifically targeted out black folks to shoot. However, the odd thing about that, thank you, Regina. Regina said, it's your show, do what you want. It's okay. Regina, it's gonna get better. I promise you. I just gotta sometimes, I don't beat around the bush. I sometimes trim the bush to get where I'm going in my topics and my points. This is all media led. Shit like this happen every day in black communities. But we all get all uptight when the shit is a certain kind of way. See, to me, quite frankly, it doesn't make me feel more angry or less angry when a white person shoots some people in a Family General than it does when our black children in Cincinnati get shot in a Family General or Dollar General, whatever it is. It don't make me feel less angry or more angry. I'm angry about it all. But what I'm still waiting for is the manifest from Nashville. Why is it that the transgender, now let's do it for what they call the LGBTQ. Why hasn't that manifest came out about that motherfucker killing them kids and 3 staff members? Where's the manifesto on that? Why is that one more secure than the one that happened in Florida? What makes that one more secure? Why don't they want the information of why the LGBTQ person went in and shot up the school? Could there have been some mental issues in that? We all know there was, because who in their right mind would go do that? Now, let me ask you this. Who in their right mind would go shoot up a Family General or Dollar General or whatever it was? Who would go shoot up a Dollar General seeking out black folks who's in their right mind? Who would do that? Oh, I know it sounds good, and I know black folks, we under attack. I know that. But now let me ask you, if you look at all the homicides, this is not me, and I got something I got to bring up because I overheard, and I don't want to say I overheard, but I paid attention to someone putting my name in their mouth on E's show about me defending Donald Trump. And I will set the record straight on that today. I will set the record straight on that today. I'll show you clips. And I'll bring a receipt or two. Facts over feelings. So let me ask you, why is it so important to push out that manifesto like right now of what happened in Florida? You don't care if a copycat come do that? You don't care that it'll outrage the community? You don't care that there's some sensitive people like family members who people got shot in that Dollar General or whatever it is, Dollar General, whatever the hell it is. What's the difference in you release if they both were a hate crime? Yes or no? What was the difference? A hate crime is a hate crime, correct? So why did they want to rush out the fact that this was a hate crime done upon black folks? I'm going to say this right now. You may hear me say this again during my conversation with you. Some of y'all won't like what I'm about to say, but I'm going to say it because some of y'all was present on this particular show that I gave. Do you remember back when that Nashville shooting happened? And they kept telling you that it was dangerous to release the manifesto? I was like, why is it dangerous? Don't you want to know what the person's motives were? Don't you want to know why they did it? They did the same thing with the shooter in Brooklyn. The brother that went in and shot up the train. Y'all don't remember that? Y'all don't remember when the black man, the brother went up in Brooklyn, shot the train up, had Asians and whites on there specifically, and they went back to his crib, pulled his computer, and he was radicalized. Y'all don't remember that? I know you don't, because that's not what you push. That's not what they push at you. But now let me bring this one up to you. Remember when you were watching this show some time ago, it was probably a couple months ago, and I told y'all there is a reason. Now y'all gonna say, this man is sitting back blaming Kamala Harris, Vice President Harris, for the shooting in Florida. I'm not blaming her. I'm just gonna tell you I knew something that you didn't know. Y'all still sitting back saying, what the fuck he talking about? What he talking about? What he talking about? Some of y'all remember what I said on that particular show. Regina says, we remember, Wyatt. That don't mean you're going to agree with me, Regina. That don't mean you're going to, there's going to be people that like me, rock with me, that are going to totally disagree with what I'm about to say. But I want y'all to put on them thinking caps, those remembrance caps of what I told you. And I said to you, I said, why did Kamala Harris get on an airplane, fly down here to Florida, and go to Jacksonville? Who remember that? And I told you, I said, I know why. I said, I know why. I knew why she went to Jacksonville and she didn't come down to any southern cities. Because Jacksonville it's the city that you can cop that type of attention. Now, do you think it's like an error or a mistake that a random shooting after the VP goes to that particular city uproars the case, uproars the crowd about CRT, and they're not letting us learn Black history? Why did she go to Jacksonville? Do you remember thank you, Jenny. Jenny said, I remember. Do you remember me telling y'all, I said, I ain't gonna tell you, but I hate to teach and let tragedy be my receipt. Anybody remember that statement? So now, I'm not saying that I have this magic wand, but I can tell you that I see motive. I see how things work. You can't take that same speech that Vice President Harris made in Jacksonville, Florida. You cannot take that to Miami. You can't take that to Fort Lauderdale right now. You can't take that to Myrtle. You can't take that to certain places in Florida. Now, I'm not talking about Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Myrtle is it's a beach section that a lot of black folks live in Florida. You can't do that. You can't take it to St. Pete. You can't take it to Tampa Bay. You can't take it to Orlando. You can't take it to a lot of places. But one place you can take it, you can take it to fucking Jacksonville, Florida. I didn't want to say anything about it when I had that conversation a couple months ago. When she went up there and was all that, why is the governor of Florida taking out black history? And she wasn't happy. And they said that, I forgot exactly what she said. I got the clip here. But I don't want to be here doing like this too much. But you see, the beauty of these internets and whatever, these podcasts and shit, is that I got the content here to be able to show you what I said. I said, you're going to learn. I said, it's a reason why she went to Jacksonville, Florida. Y'all will see later. Now, do I think that she went there purposely to start this type of shit? No, I don't think that. I think that it was acceptive. I think her going to Jacksonville, making that statement, it was a place, and you got to understand, that's at the top of Florida, right up in the corner. A lot of black folks. That's why she went there. I just don't think it's a coincidence. Some people going to disagree with me. They're going to hang up. They're going to unplug, but that's okay. We've been here 3.5 years, and nothing's changed in my format, what I say, and what I believe in. It's just unfortunate that every time I say something, people nod their head, they disagree, they say this, they say that, they sick in the stomach, sick in the head, I'm a coon, I'm all this old bullshit. And then you give it a little bit of time to marinate and do what it needs to do, and it forms into what it's supposed to be, the tragedy that I was talking about. I just don't think, quite frankly, that I wasn't surprised if there was going to be a random shooting or a hate crime shooting and it was going to happen in Florida. There was no doubt in my mind that it was going to happen in Jacksonville, where the vice president of the United States went talking about black history, CRT and all that. It was no doubt in my mind that she chose Jacksonville for a reason. And it doesn't shock me that a white dude, and I don't even know if this dude is white, Palmetto. What the hell kind of name is that? Paul Meter. Let me see here. Let me see. Do I have the picture? I surely have a picture of him. Let me just make sure. Ryan Christopher Palmeter. You can call him whatever you want to call him. You know what I call him? I call him crazy. I call him crazy. He was evaluated in 2017. He was held on a 72-hour, I don't know what they call it down. I don't know what they call it. But he was held in a mental institution for 72 hours, court ordered. I guess he passed the examinations and he did what he did. He don't look white to me either, but you could put El Chapo doing the same shit. If he got any type of whiteness to him, whether it's hair texture, skin complexion, real light skin, got mixed parents, he white that day. He white today. But this is a crazy dude. Let me put his picture up again. We can say it is or it's not. We can say he is or he's not. This is a crazy dude. There's facts that he's visited a crazy loon house. Two days, they held him. Usually people that are mentally ill don't cure themselves. Y'all know some right now that done been on the radio, said shit, called from the crazy house, said the craziest shit in the world on the air, and y'all like, oh, she ain't nothing crazy. Ain't nothing crazy. They just doing her wrong. No, they don't hold you for 72 hours unless they see something there. And they'll let you out. They can't hold you forever. Yeah, I know. People don't want to hear that. They don't want to hear that. They ready to go. They didn't have their dose of what they didn't have their dose of that. I just want to clear something up. I just want to clear something up. I heard my name. I heard my name, and I heard that I take up for Donald Trump. I'll show you some people that take up for Donald Trump. I'm going to show you that on the show. I don't take up for Donald Trump. I just see something you don't see. That goes for that individual. You want to call me out and say, I take up for Donald Trump? Far from the truth. Far from the truth. Let me go to the phone lines real fast. Let me get something started real fast. Good afternoon, caller. This is Wyatt. Who am I speaking with?
Hi, Wyatt. This is Ambra.
Hey, Ambra, how you doing? Long time no talk to.
I'm good.
Hold on. Let me say this, okay, real fast. I'm sorry, Amber, because
Okay.
my man Emmanuel Livingston, my brother from another mother, is on the chat.
Okay.
It's not you I'm referring to, brother. It was on your show, but I'm gonna light his ass up after I get off this call right here. So Amber gonna bring a lot of excitement to the show real fast. But after I get through with that, then I'm gonna go ahead and go on. It was not Emmanuel Livingston. It was just on his show. He the only one who said. I mean, it wasn't Emmanuel, all right? But after this shit right here, excuse me, Amber, after Amber get over here and enlightening us with information, then I'm going to go in on what I was talking about. Good afternoon, Amber. What's going on? Tell us something
Good
good, sis.
afternoon. I just wanted to, so it's funny because last night I hadn't heard anything about this Jacksonville shooting until yesterday. Actually, I was over your cousin's house. But long story
My
short.
cousin? My cousin?
Tamika.
Yeah, that's my family. I love her. Love them.
Yeah. So her youngest son, he had a birthday yesterday. So we was over there. I hadn't heard anything about it. Went and looked it up. And when me and my husband was looking at the report, they were like, he bought the gun legally, but it was some type of something act. And I said, well, what is that? We Googled what that is. It's basically when you have a mental health crisis and you're not supposed to have a gun. I said, now how they conveniently leave that part out of the story? Like, if you didn't go look up under the such and such an act, you'd have been like, oh Lord, this crazy white supremacist. You can look at dude's face and see he ain't always there.
Absolutely.
I said, now we just have to stop being so. We have tools in our hands and we have computers, and it's like literally you can't just look at the media to spell everything out. But it just was like, how they put in there that he was held under a something act. And I'll put it in the chat once I figure out what it was. I was trying to look up the thing. I didn't expect you to pick up so fast. But yeah, I said, this is some bull crap. They just trying to do some racial foolishness. And the whole thing is, it is sad that, 3 black people got shot. But like you said, it's black people that be getting shot all the time by other black people. Don't nobody care about that? Like, come on.
Well, we all care, Amber. But my thing is this. Look, we all care. You care, yeah. I care. Everybody on this platform care. We all care. But my thing is, I hate the transparency. I hate the trick shit that people bring up. And that is the media doing these trick games and certain types of people who are pushing this down our throat purposely trying to anger us. We're mad enough that it happened. We don't need you to make it seem like we're targeted and that this is an everyday thing, because we all know we ain't counted. There's been 7 or 8 brothers and sisters killed in the city of Cincinnati in the last week, and we ain't showed the same concern. Ain't been
Not
no
now.
national. Ain't been
I
no.
mean, we could talk about pregnant women. I'm like, now wait a minute. Now they is killing real pregnant women.
But
Like,
what I'm saying is, where's our real threat? Our real threat is not what they trying to say it is, because if you ignore the real threat and clean that up first, then we all can come together and clean up that one thing that they trying to put down our throats. Now, here's my question to you. Why is it, Amber, they're saying that the manifesto in the Nashville shooting at the school
was too bad? Because you already know what that, because one, if it was a manifesto, it's going to show that that lady in Nashville was mentally unstable because she was taking all them experimental drugs,
exactly,
trying to change her sex.
exactly.
And it caused her to lose her mind. But people, I mean, people know that if you take antidepressants, like it literally, people have, they go into psychosis. Like things can happen if you are messing with chemical imbalances and you don't got the right amount. Things don't be right. That woman wasn't right. We know this. She was born a woman and wanted to be a man. Nobody in their right mind, I don't care. This is my opinion, not Wyatt. You can't think that you are something that you're not.
But listen,
I can not say I'm a Chinese pilot just because I want to.
In 2023, you can. You can say
I
you're
know,
a squirrel.
But no,
you can say you're a squirrel. I identify as a coconut. Yeah,
no, you can't identify as a coconut, and you can't be what you want to be. Like, I mean, it just is ridiculous. Anybody who's seen that man walking knew he was special. But what we are trying to do as a society is they're trying to make us. We used to look at people and be like, okay, they're strange. Let me walk over here and leave them people alone. They're trying to make you be null and void of weird things and not be like, just like, it's just like when you used to see 15, 20 years ago, a man walking around with eyeliner, you'd be like, oh, okay, yeah. Like you knew, like, yeah, you were just a little confused. But now they're like, well, it's a whole 6'9" man, 300 pounds, looking like Joanna Man or Wesley Snipes, but you supposed to call him or her to play. I'm not participating.
Right. I don't either. But I let them stay in their lane. I mean, it is what it is.
Oh, yeah, like I said, my thing is I just don't want to adapt to your foolishness. But my whole thing is I still don't believe. Guess what? He bought the guns. Guess what? The only thing I can say is I truly believe that the only way you can stop people from having guns is if you have a gun. So all this, we need to get rid of guns. No, we don't, because we can't. How do you defend yourself from people who have a gun who ain't been honest about it?
Well, yeah, I got a solution to that. Can I share it with you? Can I get your opinion on my solution to the gun crisis? Because we can call it a gun crisis if you want to. I call it a foolishness crisis.
I'm about to say it's a gun.
Yeah, it's not really a gun crisis, in my opinion. Okay, this is my opinion. This is not a fact. This is my opinion. Okay?
Yeah.
My opinion is I don't think it's guns that's killing people. It's people that kill people using guns. That's obvious, right? But you got to be somewhat out of your mind or somewhat not stable, to use a gun on someone when it's not necessary or because you don't like them or for some other reason outside of self-defense, okay? So my solution to the problem, if I was a Republican or a Democrat, if I could get them in the table and say, okay, you're the decision maker for the Republicans, you're the decision maker for the Democrats, here's what I would say to you guys both. The Democrats want to do better. They want to have stricter gun, I don't know if it's stricter gun availability or rules or laws. I don't know what it is that they exactly are looking for. Somebody can put it on the screen. And then the Republicans are saying we don't want to lose our constitutional rights, the Second Amendment rights to carry, right?
Yeah.
The solution to because we all know that criminals are going to carry guns no matter what. Okay, no matter what the Constitution says, no matter the availability of guns, no matter what the laws of getting guns and buying guns, they're going to carry guns no matter what because they already do. That's a fact. They don't care if they have a current case pending. They don't care if they've already been convicted, went to the joint, and now they have a statute saying that they're not allowed to carry guns anymore. They're still gonna do it because we see it every day in court. It's called weapons under disability. When you carry a weapon, there's there's a statute saying you cannot bear arms. You can't do it. You lost your privilege to do that. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, here's my thing. Here's my solution. I'm going to share it with you, Amber. You tell me what you think about this.
Okay.
It'll satisfy both. I say this. Allow people to carry guns that are allowed to carry guns, but we up the level of punishment if you abuse that right of carrying guns. In other words, anybody that may have been facing what they want to call 2 years today, you give them 10 years, 15 years for making the mistake of being vicious with the gun, carrying the gun when they ain't got no business doing it. If you up the punishment, maybe that'll stop it. Now, that might sound ridiculous to a lot of people because I just finished saying that they're going to carry guns no matter what.
Exactly.
But what I've learned in my travels is that one of the reasons why a lot of people don't do violent crimes with guns in other countries is because of the penalty that they face if they get caught with the gun. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, but my thing is, last week I also was looking at on Joe Biden's Facebook page, and it was like explaining the Biden-Harris plan to keep the community safe. And I'm like, I think all this is already established. So I'm gonna just go over the quickly key points. It said ban assault weapons, require safe storage of firearms, require background checks for all gun sales, and eliminate gun manufacturers' immunity from liability. And I'm like, how you gonna make sure that somebody have a storage of their firearm? I can see you banning going forward assault weapons, but what about all the people that's grandfathered in? Yep. The background check, don't they have to have, like, I had a background check when I got my gun. I don't know. I mean, maybe from gun, like if you go to gun conventions or something, I don't know. But the whole thing is that you cannot tell mentally ill people no more that they have to go seek medicine or to get back normal. They have the right to be mentally ill if they choose to. Because we can't police that, why are we overly policing people that's not mentally ill? That's how I feel about it. I feel like if you're not going to police, I don't think they need to get rid of guns because obviously the Second Amendment allows us to be like, if the government gets too crazy, we need to be able to bear arms up against them. But to just say that, okay, we need to come up with stricter policies, I get it, but then, okay, who's going to benefit from the prisons that they make to hold the people longer? Most businesses, we don't have people, you know what I'm saying, that's working it longer. Who's going to be a CO? Like, I mean, it's just, I understand, like, that makes sense, but like in the greater scheme of things, they have given so much freedom to so much stuff that it's like, then why you going to be overzealous? Other countries, they don't have the freedoms with guns like they do, or like we do here. So
but they can get them. They can get them. A lot of people don't understand that just because you don't see a lot of gun violence in certain countries,
that don't mean they don't have them.
It don't mean that they don't have them.
Black market. Yeah, but they ain't doing it. They ain't doing it all like that. But like, what's the gun laws in Mexico?
Well, I mean, I don't know off the top of my head. I mean, I don't know what the laws are for a citizen. Well, but I think Mexico is a real. Hold on, Amber. Let me answer this a little bit. I think Mexico is a bad example because of so much stuff they have going on with the renegade, the cartels and things of that nature. So I would say maybe some of the Spaniard countries, some of the Asian countries, some of the European countries. A lot of them are, especially the I would say more of the
Well, let me tell you why I use Mexico.
Okay, go ahead.
When I went to Puerto Vallarta, I went on vacation. We went to the mall. Their police have AR-15s and have, like, they look like the military. If I had a handgun and I'm looking at the police with an AR-15, I'm not going to try that shit because you're going to outshoot me. My thing is, okay, so obviously maybe citizens don't have it or don't use it as much because they probably like, yeah, if the police come, it's gonna be a massacre. But I'm saying like, okay, we gonna give somebody a citizen 10 years or whatever more time in jail to discourage it. But like these young people, they, I mean, I'm gonna say the bad word, they retarded. They don't care nothing about no consequences. They just don't. They don't have. They have no fear.
Let me give you an example of what I'm talking about so some people will understand that I do get it, but I just use this as an example. And if you just take the bad turn and you end up with 10 years because you had a gun or 15 years that you had a gun, that's on you. But let me give you a perfect example of what I'm talking about. You mentioned vacation. Okay, you've been on vacation. Where did you go?
Puerto Vallarta, Mexico.
Okay, let me give you a black country. Okay, I'm gonna say I'm gonna say the Bahamas. Okay, which is a black country. You go to the Bahamas. When you pull up in a cruise ship, okay, let's just say port. Let's just say Paradise Island or something. When you pull up in those cruise ships on the ports, you'll never see one of those black police officers carrying a gun. They don't carry guns right there in the port.
Right.
I know they don't.
Yeah,
I'm making my point. And the reason why I'm making my point is because I'm going to tell you the severity of punishment is a proven fact in what I'm about to show you. If you go to a black country like the Bahamas, when you go to certain areas where tourists are or Americans or other countrymen that visit, the police officers do not carry guns. Is that a suggestion that there's no crime in the Bahamas? No, because there's very, very poor people in the Bahamas and there's a ton of crime. But you know why they don't come over there with that crime bullshit over where they make their money in the tourist area? Because if you get caught stealing, if you get caught robbing American or anybody that's there on vacation and that's their way of getting money, if you come over there dirtying up the water and doing something in that specific area, you will go to jail for 100 days. 100 years and 2 days. Do you understand? The crime penalties are higher in certain areas in the Bahamas. That's why the police officers don't even carry guns. But if you look at the criminalization over in the Bahamas, my point of what I'm saying is if you up the crime time, and I know black folks don't like to hear that because what do we say? The system is against us and they just using that to lock us up and use us as slave labor and all that old shit. Okay, we can have those conversations too. But what I'm telling you is a proven fact that if you look in other countries that have higher crime time, they have less crime in regards to those things like guns. That's one of the reasons why you don't see a lot of crime or a lot of hostile takeover with guns in other countries because of their crime time that they get in doing that in the punishment. So let me ask, you ever been to the Bahamas?
Yeah. Okay. I've been to the Bahamas like 3-4 times.
Okay.
But I'm only on a cruise though.
Okay, well I can tell you right now what I know for a fact. The 3 or 4 times you've been there, you ain't never seen one of them police officers that wear the blue pants, the white jacket, the white hat. They all got a stick. That's the best they gonna do at you.
They do have a stick, and they always look real clean. So I'm
absolutely.
Like, people be getting out of line over here because they got on white.
Oh, they get out of line. They just don't get out of line over there, right there in that area. They get out of line. I can prove it. Jamaica's the same way. When you get off of a cruise ship, you don't see no guns. You don't see any guns from the police officers. You don't see nothing. You don't see a sniffing dog. You don't see none of that. But guess what? Get on an excursion, get in one of them vans, and let it take your ass sometime. Let it take you somewhere out in the culture, in the areas, and watch what you find.
Yeah.
Look what you find. You'll go through communities. You'll see people.
But I don't go to no areas that you be like, I ain't looking for no weed or nothing. I don't need to be nowhere where the tourists ain't.
well, I ain't gonna lie. I've done it, Amber. I've been on some of those little boats. Excuse me, some of those little ferries. Those I don't know, those little buses, and they take you out.
I go to excursions into places. A little bit of I go to everything where the tourists be. I don't want to be nowhere. We went in Jamaica. We went to a club, and it was like, okay, it's time to go.
Yeah, I mean, when I've been to Jamaica, Jamaica is a good time, but you can't go in the wrong place.
No, I know. That's what I'm saying. And I was and I'm like, baby, it's time to go. Like this look like we about to get plotted on.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. Now, my point is this. if you go to those places and you stay in certain areas, there's no police officers with guns. And that's not a coincidence. That's how it is because of the fact that the natives there know if we screw up, we going to jail forever. Forever.
Yeah, we don't learn. You can't tell Americans they can't do, like, we so hard headed. Like, it's not going. That's why I said, listen. I don't like all this foolishness where they be trying to make, they need to take away guns. Guess what? Any gun can be a like any gun can, like an AR-15 assault rifle. I'm not fully okay with, people having assault rifles, so there's no reason to have it. However,
but
if you can make a 9mm assault rifle,
yes, it is, Amber. I'm gonna speak for some people that I don't really know. I'm gonna speak for some people that are doing some things different than I'm doing. But it's not fair for us who may not be gun adventurers. I'm not a gun adventurous. I got guns for my business and my safety. Okay, I'm required to carry a gun in my profession. Okay, but now let me just say this to you. There are people that do sporting with guns. They do competitions with guns. All guns aren't used in this world for protection or for show and tell and all that. A lot of these guns that they have in possession are used for, competitions and stuff to that nature. Now, just because you and I are not involved in that, it's not fair for us to say, well, since we don't use them AR-15s and all that for competition or for hunting and all that, they shouldn't be able to use it. That's not fair for us to say.
Yeah, that's why I said I'm kind of on the fence. I'm saying the reason why I say they shouldn't ban it, because I feel like it's a start of, okay, well, now we can't do this one. And it just keep going until it be that you can't have guns. That's why I said, listen, before they ban any of it, I'd rather they okay all of it and just figure out how to make people understand that people's lives matter.
Wait, we on the same page. On the same page. I just said, let everybody have what they want. But the people that are irresponsible, the people that don't want to use it right, see, aren't you getting tired of being punished for what other people do?
Yep.
I mean, think about it. Every time,
like everything.
Think about it. I played sports, okay? I hated that one dude that couldn't get right. He can never get shit right, and we always had to run laps because he couldn't hit the shot. He couldn't do the drill. He couldn't do this and this and that, and the whole team suffered. I'm tired of suffering for irresponsible people's actions. I'm tired of suffering for that.
Yeah.
So I don't even want to have to carry a gun. Okay, I don't want to have to carry a gun, but I think it's wrong when you tell people that they can't defend themselves, because there's going to be people that's carrying guns out here, regardless of what the law is.
Yeah.
Regardless of what the punishment is.
Yep.
So that would be my solution if I had both parties, the Republicans and the Democrats. I would say, let's sit down, let's drink a Gatorade, or let's drink something what they drinking, and let's just say this, okay? Let's put the time up on the crime. Let's put the time up, no exceptions. But then, you got your chaos agents gonna come in and gonna boo-hoo cry like they do now for all of the people that victimize people.
Oh, yeah. Everybody's a victim. That's why I said, I don't know. I don't know the answer, but I do know that when you have a country where we have so many rights, all this idea is just like the foolishness with COVID. No, I do not want the government. I want you to give me the information and let me make a decision. I don't want you telling me what I can and can't do. I don't like that. I like having the option. Give me the information and let me make the decision because I'm an adult.
So now on that, let me just ask you this before you get out of here.
No, I ain't taking no vaccines. No. I just went off on my mama in the car and told her, we just left a funeral. I said, let me tell you something, lady. You 80. You not allowed to take no more damn vaccines, period.
Right.
We ain't taking no vaccines. You're going to take you
some I think vitamins. I know this is a rhetorical question, okay? But you feeling that way, you thinking the way you think, and I don't have a problem with you feeling that way, but think of this. Why would the government incentivize companies to fire their employees if they don't get shots?
Because they want people to listen and be obedient to them, and that's it. What? But it's not for it's not for your betterment. It's for control.
Okay.
So for me, I feel like as adults, for the most part, I speed just like everybody else speed every now and then if I'm in a rush. But the rule is that if you speed, you do what? If you get caught by the police,
you pay the fine.
You have to pay it.
You pay the fine.
And that's your consequence. I'm cool with that. But don't tell me if I speed, you have to go to jail for the rest of your life and you don't get food and nah.
I
Let
bet
me
you
deal
your
with the
ass won't
consequences.
speed if that was the consequence. I bet you your ass wouldn't speed. What's the speed
But you
limit?
know what, Wyatt?
40?
I
I'm
probably
38
would
down
because
this mother.
I'm telling you, I'm oppositional. Like I'm oppositional as hell, and like that's why, like for real, on another subject with the COVID stuff, I'm like, hell no, because I just if everybody going left, I'm like, nah, I'm just gonna go right, just because I always been like that,
I understand.
and for me, it ended up working out because I'm like, when the government care about somebody this much? Y'all retarded. Ain't
Well,
no way. I ain't taking this mess. Nope.
let me
Nope.
let me
And like
add a little bit to what
same
you
thing
just
with
said.
Trump. I ain't no Trump supporter, but I ain't no Biden supporter.
Let
And
me
I'm like, now listen.
let me add a little transparency to what you just said about the COVID shot and you going in a different direction. I don't have a problem if everybody took the COVID shot if the real information is out there and the government is not suppressing other opinions from doctors. Not
Yeah,
me. I didn't get on the internet and tell people, oh, this shot is a joke. It's mixed with water, tea, and honey, and all this old shit.
that's
I
how you
didn't
know
do
it's
that.
not real because it's always been that you was able to get both sides, all the information, then you can make your own decision.
Exactly, but we
The
weren't
fact,
given that.
all the foolishness, like when everybody was like, they put Trump off social media. I said, no, I don't like that because if you don't, if the most important job in the country, the president of the free world can't say what he wants to say or whatever, you don't have to agree with it.
Well,
But the fact that, like, let me give you an example real quick, and I'm gonna get off
mhm.
on Joe Biden's page, and I'm a screenshot it and put it in the chat. He had a chart, and it said it was talking about manufacturing jobs. They had Ronald Reagan, first Bush, Daddy Bush, George Bush, Trump, and Biden. I said, first thing I said is, where Obama at? Where's Obama? Like, you can't tell people, well, I got the most manufacturing jobs. What this, if you're going to put everybody on there going back as far as Reagan, where the hell's President Obama?
Did he have
Don't
manufacturing
leave out
jobs?
important information. Give me all the information. So if you do got the best jobs, I can clearly see it. But when you leave out an important fact conveniently, I gotta call bullshit on your whole stance.
And
Because
see,
I'm like, well, why you leave that out?
that's exactly what I was saying with the COVID stance. I don't
Yeah.
mind if we have a crisis going on that I would encourage everybody to go get shots if all the information is out by all doctors, if all opinions are matching. All opinions didn't match. And the simple fact that you had doctors that went to school for 12 years being
And smarter than
opposed
everybody everywhere.
being opposed by other doctors that was on board with the agenda. You see what I'm
Yep.
saying? And they suppressed all the other information, and then they'd only wanted you to see, and it's been proven, okay? It's been proven
Oh
when
yeah.
Elon Musk
But
bought
but the
Twitter.
but you know what's crazy, Wyatt? The amnesia that
Oh,
everybody had. They
listen,
didn't tell you you couldn't do. They didn't tell you was gonna do. I said they most certainly did tell you
listen.
you was gonna lose your job. They most certainly did tell you you couldn't go to a Memorial Day cookout with your family in 2020. Don't nobody remember that. I'm like, y'all have
Wait, you
lost
know
your
what
damn
though?
mind.
You know what, Amber? You know what, sis? I remember it. I even remember. Wait
Listen,
a minute, hold on. I remember doing a show back before the lock.
listen.
Wait a minute, before the lockdown even happened. I asked the question: who's one of the Wyatt Live family members that's been here since day one? Where my day ones at? Who remember me asking the question if the government poses and they thought this was foolish. They thought, oh, it'll never get to that. They'll never do that. Who remember me asking the question if you've been on your job for 2 years or 3 years, if they come back and say you got to leave this job or take the shot, what would you do? I said, if you got 5 years in, what would you do? If you got 10 years in, what would you do? If you got 20 years in, what would you do? And you know, people thought I was foolish for asking that. Guess what happened, Amber? 3 months later, people was being told if they don't take the shot, they have to leave their jobs.
Yeah. But
I
then
don't
the
have
other thing
amnesia. I
is
remember the shit. I remember it
they
like it
was
was yesterday.
loud. They was loud with the requirement, right? But then they don't want to talk about last year when they took it to the Supreme Court and they had to pay all them people back pay because it was what? Unconstitutional.
Absolutely.
You can't do that. They got in trouble. They loud with the oh no. But then they quiet when they like, oh, we messed up, my bad. I don't pay them their
Well,
money and we gonna
there's
do
a lot of
yeah.
people that I told right here on the air, Emmanuel Livingston being one of them, that he probably has a constitutional lawsuit. He probably has a civil lawsuit against his company. Now, I'm not going to put that out there, like
Yeah.
I'm challenging him or something of that nature. From a brother to another brother, I'm telling him that I personally believe he has a civil lawsuit against the company that relieved him of his duties for not
Because he
taking
wasn't.
a shot. And if that was
Yep.
the reason of dismissal, that is definitely a civil lawsuit. You
Yep.
cannot. I mean, look. It's not mandated that you have to take a COVID shot, and I know that there's some things on the books that you have to get certain shots for to go into certain places like school. You have to get your what is that
No, you do not.
well,
You absolutely do not have to
that
have
was the
no
argument. That was the argument. There are
um
schools that allow you to come in without getting your immunization shots and things of that
yeah.
nature. I understand that. But once again, you're talking about public schools and the control that public schools. See, I didn't really want to go here with it, but the
Too much control.
control that public schools have over the people that are public school participants is amazing to me. And that's once again why I go away from school. We should have school choice, and parents should be able to utilize the money that they're given for public school to be able to go wherever they want to go. Somebody asked me, they didn't necessarily ask me, but they would always ask the question of, well, you talk about the Republicans so much, you must like the Republicans. And I say, no, not necessarily. I just think that since y'all talk so bad about the Democrats all day, or talk so bad about the Republicans all day, I just want to bring up some of the things in the Democratic Party that just don't sit well with me. Now, does that make me a Republican? Because
No. Well, it's no different than, and I'm gonna get off. I promise I'm getting off because I gotta listen to the show.
Okay.
But when you said, I think it was either Thursday or Friday last week, when you, or maybe it was the week before last, I don't know, but what you said about the public school, you said, I have a problem with people who want to control the public school boards, but they won't even educate they own. Like, I ain't never thought about it like that.
Well, I have.
Like, because my sister went to private school. I went to public school, and like, we had so many teachers that taught at Wentwoods. They kids went to McCarthy. They did not go to school with us.
Yeah.
And I know now as an adult, your kids can go to school, to whatever school you teach at, for like, they ain't got to be in the district. They can go wherever their parents work. And they like, listen, I'd rather take my kid, drop them off at a whole nother school, and then I'm going to come educate you. That is the most crazy. Like, and I'm like, damn, that guy let you know that they know I'm going to get paid for this, but this is not a good education.
I know.
Because my kids ain't taking advantage of it.
Once again, Amber, we come to the point of information is key. And what you don't know is the lack of information is what's holding us back. It's not the fact that we're oppressed and all that. Yeah, we're oppressed of information. Okay.
But that don't mean, about it.
Yeah, it don't mean that the things that are available to other people aren't available to you. If you don't know that you are being dehydrated, you don't go seek water. Okay. You can't say water is not available if you're not seeking water for yourself. Do you understand what I'm saying? Some people go days without proper something and they don't know what they really need to feel better. It's not that you don't want to feel better and you just staying away from what'll make you feel better. You just don't know what it is that you need to make you feel better. So it's like information is key. We keep talking about everything but information. We don't talk about the things we need. Now, quite frankly, you brought up education. I'm going to tell you right now, education is the key of removing yourself from oppression. It's the key of poverty.
But also, it's another thing is that with whatever happens with African Americans, when they get educated, they bite all into the Democratic agenda, and that needs to. It's not a synonym. Like, it doesn't go together. Like, just because you educated, you got to be so. I got to accept all these agendas, all these Democratic this, and you just be like, now see. Why are you not using your common sense? Like, you're so smart that you're being stupid.
Well, there's a level of guilt. There's a level of guilt. There's a level of guilt.
I guess.
No, it really is. There's a level of guilt. There's a level of people. There's some people out here that don't believe leveling up means that like when you level up, that means that you got to kind of stay still socially. That's how some people feel. They feel guilty for leveling up economically. They feel good about spending their money and not suffering at the grocery store, but they
Yeah.
feel bad for other people. But then they'll say the only reason why you there and I'm here is because of my conditions. When I was coming up, that's why you hear me all the way say. That's why you hear me say I'm from 1335 John Street. My
I know my
situation.
husband said to my husband from Avondale. I'm like, oh Lord, shut up.
Yeah, I mean but see, there's strength behind that. There's
I
strength.
know.
It's strength behind that. Ain't nobody trying to be funny when they say that shit. It's
I
strength
know.
behind it.
I'm laughing because
No,
I'm
no,
from
I know
Forest
you know,
Park.
but what I'm saying is when people, okay, let's say for instance, I grew up and I had this same show, this same platform, and I stood on what I stood on, but I grew up in the rich part of Bond Hill or out in Indian Hill, and I come on here talking to my people, talking about we can get ourselves together from our by our bootstraps and all that old shit, and I never suffered. I'm a ground zero dude. I'm I started myself. You understand?
Yeah.
I didn't have the capabilities of a bank and all the things that people have in big business. I
And
didn't
they
have
still
that.
don't respect you. They still think that
I
you
don't
would
care.
sell
I
out
don't
or do
care.
whatever.
I don't care. I'm
That's
gonna
my
keep
point.
doing me. I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing, and I'm gonna keep trying to give the information, whether
Yeah.
people want to hear it or not. The ones that
Yep.
don't want to hear the real information will tune out. That's
That's
fine
why.
with me.
That's why we going with what Drop said. We're gonna take this show on the road.
Well, okay, but see, you and Drop can fill in for me if you want to. I just don't want
No, we own it. We own it.
it's not. I'm not built for a national thing. I'm not built
Yes,
for the.
you are.
No,
Yes, you are.
no, you
We
sis,
ain't gonna do that though. We ain't
sis.
gonna do it. I feel you, but I don't.
I'm just being
You
honest
are a
with you.
breath of fresh air, and seriously, it is hilarious to me. Like I love it because, like you said, you ain't got no commercial. You literally doing this on your own, and that's beautiful for the Black community to be able to hear a different talking point. Like I've had people texting me pictures of Donald Trump, in jail, and I'm like, why do you think I care? I
Well,
don't care.
well, you're not the only one, sis. I'm about to prove a point today. Soon as you and I hang up, I told I was gonna go off on whoever was at. I'm gonna let everybody know here
Oh,
in a
about your
second.
name.
Huh?
About your name.
Yeah,
Said
being my name
said
dropping on some old bullshit, talking about some I'm supporting Donald Trump. And if I was, let me tell you who I am before you hang up. If
Yeah.
I will support whoever and whatever I want, and I'll stand on it. Okay?
Yeah.
There's nobody that comes on this show or listens or pretends to listen or who don't listen that I would be ashamed of telling you my position, and I fall back and be like, I'm sorry, I feel this way. I'm sorry. But no, I'm not. I stand on what I say. Okay, I stand on what I say. And because I'm sitting back watching something that I don't believe in or that I see is wrong. For instance, you brought up the COVID shots, right? You brought up the COVID. I knew it was some bullshit when they wouldn't let other opinions from other doctors be publicized. That let me know that there's no transparency in the situation. You only want it one way. And the way that
Yep.
the
You only want
government
one.
supported it lets me know that if you're not letting somebody, if you're suppressing other information that can allow me to make my own decision on what I want to do with my own body, then I think that there's some shit in the game.
Yep.
Bottom line, it don't take a brain surgeon to figure that out.
Yeah. It don't. It just, like I said, I couldn't wait. I love to cruise. That's like, I love to cruise. I love to do that. I ain't cruised until last year. Booked another one. I'm going on it. Guess what? When I came back from my cruise, guess what I got? COVID. Guess what? Took me some medicine and kept it moving and still going. Like it doesn't stop nothing. I had COVID so bad I thought I was gonna die. Lost 15 pounds, was in the house for 18 days, still go, then got it
You
again.
didn't learn your
Like,
damn
get the
lesson.
shot. Don't matter.
You didn't learn your damn lesson.
Well, no, that's what they said, but I'm like, but guess what? My immune system did what it's supposed to do. It fought infection. I don't have no pre-existing conditions, and 98% of the people beat COVID. I just was like, said my prayers, did what I'm supposed to do, drank my water, stayed hydrated, and it took 18 days, but I beat it. But my thing is the fear mongering of, they had that little calculator at the bottom of the TV.
Oh yeah, I know.
We got 20,000 people. I'm like, this is fear mongering.
CNN was dropping bodies live on TV. They had a shot clock of bodies
all
that
them,
was
all
falling.
them white cops, everybody. I said, don't nobody remember that. See, you remember they were saying that?
Yeah, I remember.
In Cincinnati, they said that we gotta make the convention center an overflow hospital because we have so many patients.
Ask this question.
Red.
Ask this question.
Never had nobody ever went to the convention center in Cincinnati.
I was gonna say, ask this question to your city council in Cincinnati whenever y'all get some time. Those makeshift beds and all that shit down at Duke Energy. Find out how much the government sent them to do that and how much was left over and that they put in.
But I'm saying, I know people that work at the hospital said they never sent anybody to it.
Listen, I don't know if you'll remember this. You probably weren't watching the show at this time, but I'm gonna say something. I'm gonna tell you. You don't know. You might remember. You might remember this. I don't think you were though. I'll be honest with you, Amber. Who remember the time that I told you my daughter and her friends and my two daughters and their friends was in a car to go get a COVID shot? This is when you could stay in your car, drive up to get a COVID shot. You had to fill out the forms and all that old shit. They do the test, the thing in your nose. You give them the thing, and then you pull off. Who remember those days? Okay, they were doing that in Cincinnati. Let me tell you what my daughter and them did, and I remember it like it was yesterday. My daughter and them had so much time to make it to work. One of her friends had to be at work. They had 45 minutes to get to work. They didn't realize that the line was so long. So what they did is they handed everybody the paperwork. You filled it out, right? Before you turned it in, before you left, you would get the COVID shot, turn in the paperwork. Well, my daughter and them was in the car before they turned. They filled the paperwork out. It was filled out so you would have it pre-filled out by the time it was time to do the shot or get the test. They never got the test because my daughter's friend had to be to work. So they gave the people the paperwork, pulled out a line and said, we'll be back tomorrow. We'll do it tomorrow. They never went back and got the test done because you know how people are. We'll be back tomorrow. They never made it back. My daughter and them all got tests in the mail. Your test results came in the mail. And they all had COVID and never took the test.
Well, see, that was bullshit. That's crazy.
They tests came back that they had COVID and they never even took the test.
That's how you know it's some foolishness. But you know what? It was probably an eye-opening experience for your daughter. Like, now wait a minute.
It was one for me. I was already where I needed to be when I was watching how they put a price tag to the urgent cares and to the hospitals.
Oh yeah.
And when they put that price tag of saying you get $15,000 if somebody come in. And if they have
I thought
COVID,
it was like 40,000, 50,000.
No, it was
15. Oh, no, that was a ventilator.
No, it was 15,000 if they showed up and got diagnosed with COVID and they sent them home. Okay, if they got treated, it was $50,000 if the hospitals, like I don't know what, and I don't know, took them in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't know if they. If they really took them in and roomed them, but if they put so much treatment towards them or something like that, it was $50,000 that the government was giving to the hospitals. But they got $15,000 if you went to urgent care and was diagnosed with COVID and they told your ass to go home for 7 days and don't come outside.
And don't come out. But then the other crazy thing is now, if you got COVID, call into work and tell them, hey, I got COVID, I can't come. And they're going to be like, no, we don't do that no more. You got to bring your ass in. You can stay home a day, but before you 14 days, then people start abusing it. And it just, I guess they said, well, no, we can't just keep going for this long with it. But no, seriously, one last thing, and then I'm getting off.
You sure?
I'm getting off.
Sure?
Everybody, if you have not seen it, Died Suddenly. Have you ever seen the documentary?
What is it?
Died Suddenly.
No.
You need to look it up.
What is it on?
You need to look it up. I'm gonna send it. It's. I can't think of. I watched it like a year ago, maybe on Thanksgiving. But it's a documentary talking about the increased numbers of cancers, birth defects, people having these, what's it called, myocarditis or something, whatever it is, with all these people having heart attacks, these athletes. But listen, I'm telling y'all, look up, the documentary is called Died Suddenly. They had like in Cincinnati, they had the mortuary annual convention like 2 years ago, and they were talking about these blood clots that they are finding when they embalm people. And the blood clots, that was like, we've never seen nothing like this since this whole COVID pandemic. If they talk about the military, how many people in the military are being discharged because they have all these blood clots. I'm telling, if you have not seen it, y'all need to look. It's a documentary. It's called Die, D-I-E-D, Suddenly.
Died suddenly. You don't know what
Yep.
it's on? Is it on Netflix or something to that?
I think
It don't matter.
it was.
You
Was
can
it Netflix? It's either Netflix or it was something. I'm gonna look it up, and I'll still be in the chat, but I'm gonna look it up.
Okay. All right.
Yep.
Sounds good.
All right. Take care, Wyatt.
All right,
I'm
sis.
happy to be, on the call. Thank you for
I
picking up
appreciate
quickly.
you. Appreciate you. Thank you. Talk to you soon.
All right. Have a good one.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. That was Amber, our special guest. If you on a call longer than 10 minutes, consider yourself a special guest or whatever. You're the co-host. That was Amber, the co-host of the Wyatt Live 1 p.m. show. She had some shit to do, she said 45 minutes ago. I hope you wasn't waiting on something like in the oven or something because it's burnt up or whatever. If you was waiting for something that was done, that was on a time frame, you messed it up, sis. But yeah, we started out talking about severity and punishment, okay? And it went off to Aruba, to the Bahamas and Jamaica and all that old shit. But that all being said, that would be my solution. I want to back up just a little bit, then we can get on. My solution to the problem would be something that that I think a lot of people would be afraid of trusting, number one. And that is you have to push the punishment of crime higher. I know that sounds ridiculous. That might sound bad to some people, but the truth of the matter is there's a group of individuals, black, white, green, purple, red, white, and blue, that live in this country that don't mind going to jail. It's a fact. Nobody wants to go. I say they don't mind. In other words, nah, it ain't my time. I'm going to run from the police. I don't want to go. But then, if I get caught, fuck it. My people up there, my family, my friends. Jail is not the best place to be, but it ain't like what a lot of people think it is. Now, you'd say, well, Wyatt, how the fuck you know? Have you ever been to jail? No, but the law of average tells me that it ain't that motherfucking bad. Because if it was so damn bad, you wouldn't have 3-time offenders, 4-time offenders, 5-time offenders. I mean, law of average tells me that. It just tells me that if it was so bad, like I'm gonna tell you, here's the residual of second and third time crime people, or excuse me, of people that go to jail in other countries is a lot lower than ours. Number one, what we would go to jail for 2 years here, they'll go to jail for 10 years in Asia. All right, I'll give you a perfect example of what I'm talking about. Everybody cried, hee, woo, woo, poo-pooed, and all that old shit was baby food when Brittany Griner got caught on a dope charge at the airport. Do y'all think they wrote that penalty in pencil? No. The maximum sentence for that little shit she did was 10 years. It was on the books before she was born. How many Russians do you think are getting caught with what she got caught with, drugs or whatever, in Russia at the airport, knowing that you can face 10 years for a joint or some bullshit? Let's just kind of make sense for Americans. All y'all talking about all she had was some some hash, and she just had motherfucking hash. She only had it. That's that mentality of an American. She only had. Oh, they doing her wrong because of what that little bit she had. See, that's that spoiled, and some black folks call this shit like entitled attitude. Y'all call that entitled attitude from white people, but black people got just as much entitled attitude as white people do, especially when it come down to shit like all she had was a joint. All she had was this. But the law says all it take is a joint for your ass to go to jail for 10 years. Try it if you want to. She been there playing in Russia long enough to know what the penalties were. She might not have known it was a 10-year penalty. She might not have known that, but she knew it was a crime. But the ignorance of the law is no excuse, especially the ignorance of how much time I can get. Let me ask you, I'm going to use something that Amber said. She said, if I know the speed limit is 55 and I want to rush and I want to do over the speed limit, if I get caught, I'm willing to pay the fine, whatever it is. That's how she feel. Like she know that there's a fine, but I bet she don't know how much it is. You can't get mad at Amber if she say, oh, look, I know the speed limit 40. Fuck it, I got to get where I'm going. I'm doing 72. And when she get pulled over, if the fine is $3,000, how's she gonna get mad? She knew there was a penalty. She just didn't know how much it was. That's her ignorance. That would be her ignorance. She knew she broke the law because the fine is $3,000. You should have known what the fine was if you was willing to break the law. If you're gonna be a criminal, be a student of the criminality. Be a criminal of the be a student of the crime. You only know the benefits of the crime, but you don't know the penalty. That makes no sense to me. The only penalty that most people know about crime is jail. I'm gonna go to jail. Ain't nobody out on the streets running around saying, I'm about to hit this lick. I'm gonna sell this little ounce of dope. I'm gonna do this. And if I get caught, I'm facing 3 to 5. They ain't out there doing that. They're not equating the penalty to the crime. They just trying not to get caught. And whatever the penalty for the crime may be, they'll address that when the time comes. And then they'll wait for the other chaos agents to come in and say, well, you ain't got to give my brother 5 years for that little bitty ass piece of dope. That ain't shit. Oh, y'all ain't doing that shit to Donald Trump. See what I'm saying? You ain't doing that shit to Joe Biden's son. See what I'm saying? Deflections to the shit that you broke the law to. Joe Biden's son and Trump ain't got shit to do with what you doing. But yep, like you said, Catherine Stone, she said, now you know thinking people got logic going on. She said, no. What? She said, no. She said, no, now you thinking people got logic going on. Okay, I got you. They don't. That's why I can't argue with certain people. I can't have a debate because they do not apply the logic to their argument. Generally, when I have an argument or a debate, I use the laws of average. Laws of average tell me right now that what happened at that family general store or general family, what is the Dollar Family, whatever the hell it is, the dollar store, the $3 store, $5 store, Dollar General, whatever. That does not happen every day in America. This is a perfect example of what I be talking about. Now, look, y'all know I feel bad for the families. I always feel bad for the families of the people that got shot and killed. I feel bad for them. But I'm starting to feel even worse for the people that absorb how the stories are put out. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, why are we continuously, like LeBron James put that post out, we being hunted by the police. We being hunted. We hunted every day. No, the fuck we ain't. I don't go to work, to my office, drive my car. I don't look over my shoulder. Do you? Do you look over your shoulder every time you going somewhere? When you going to the jazz festival, do you drive and look over your shoulder? What the fuck you out here doing wrong? What are you doing when you looking over your shoulder all the time? Are you saying to yourself every time you see a white police officer or every time you see somebody white, I wonder if that motherfucker thinking about shooting me? Is that how you live in your life? You living a cynical ass life. I don't know. I don't think like that. Now, if I'm doing some dirt, if I'm doing some shit, I might have those thoughts. Some shit might cross my mind that today might be a bad day if I get caught. Or if I get pulled over, this shit might not work out. I got a bunch of dope in my trunk. Or fuck it. I'm about to go. I'm going to run. If they catch me, they catch me. But me running that shit might not work out. I got warrants. I'm just saying. But then when you have a debate with somebody, it takes this situation that happened in Jacksonville, Florida. Oh, the chaos. This today is a chaos agent's holiday. Now, I feel very sorry. Y'all don't know. I probably feel sorry, more sorry for the victims than the people that's speaking on this situation more than they do. I probably do, because I'm the same one that cry when Pup gets shot in the Dollar General in your own city. Ain't none of y'all said shit about that. Y'all don't say nothing to Miss James. Who sent Miss James a card? Who sent her something in her DM? Who sent her some flowers? Who went to the funeral? Who said anything about little Pup being shot in a general family? And what is this shit called? Family General? General Dollar? Y'all don't care. Y'all don't care. You just care to be part of the chaos. And then what does it do? It brings up all this other shit that now you want to focus on some shit 60 years ago. I get it. I get it. This is not a good day for a guy like me to be talking about, don't be bringing up the past. I got to stick to what I say. I'm still on my circle, because I'm going to tell you this. Those that are trying to tell you this is how America is for black folks, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's not. If you really want to know what it is, I feel more secure walking in a Family Dollar or a Dollar General than I do walking in some of the neighborhoods. Because if you go to average, the law of average shows that you're more likely to get shot in some of these neighborhoods than you are in a Dollar General by a random racist white supremacist. That's not an everyday occurrence. And as much as they want you to believe that it is. Now, we all know it's a ridiculously dumbass crime. It's painful to people, especially those victims, the family's victims, especially, the family of those people. I couldn't imagine if somebody called me and said my daughter was in Family Dollar and got shot by somebody. But I need my people to not fall for this is how America is every day. It's not. But guess what? Guess what? I challenge you if you say it is. I challenge you. And I say, what's been going on for the last 2 weeks in Cincinnati that y'all ain't talking about? How many black folks have died in neighborhoods in Cincinnati that y'all ain't said shit about? CNN trucks ain't been in Cincinnati. Fox trucks ain't been in Cincinnati. MSNBC ain't been in Cincinnati. Al Sharpton got a radio station in Cincinnati. He ain't been in Cincinnati and talked about the brothers and the sisters dying in the streets of Cincinnati. He ain't said shit about it. But let a white man with the motives of killing a black person, a manifesto, not to mention, I don't know if this dude is white. And then I don't know if he was not mentally ill. Y'all can say, you can call me whatever you want to call me. One thing I'm not is brainwashed. One thing I don't let people do is mess with my emotions, and that's how I figure out how I'm going to make it through my day. The bottom line is, there was a troubled young man who, to be honest with you, I'm still trying to figure this shit out. I've heard several stories that this young man, can I share this with you guys before I get out of here today? I got 29 minutes. Can I share a small story it fucked with me when I hear stories like this white supremacist that shot up? I'm not sure if this dude is a white supremacist. I think he's a mentally ill person that was trying to find a space, and he did some shit that probably mentally ill people do. I got to share a story with you if you guys would give me, I don't know, 2 minutes. Can you give me 2 minutes to share something that I've experienced? If not, I'll move on. I got somebody I got to cuss out anyway after that. Can I share it? It's a true story. It's a real story. I think I've said it before. I think I've told this story before. All right, I'm going to do it real fast. I went to a school in Europe, okay? It allowed me to be around so many makes and models of 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 other people, from Samoan, white, black, Asian, I mean, Russian, Ukrainian. I was around a lot of different people. One of the guys that gravitated to me, I kind of took him under my wing, was a white dude. I don't know why. I used to, if you know what Andy Dalton looked like, y'all know what Andy Dalton looked like, red-haired white dude with freckles. I don't know why that guy. If Andy Dalton existed then, we would have nicknamed him Andy Dalton. Get it? But for some odd reason, this guy lived in the same high rise that I lived, and he went to my high school, and he gravitated to me. He was from Georgia, a white dude. He was like 2 grades below me, and we would get the school bus together and all this old shit. He was okay. He was real quiet, but he was one of y'all know this. Y'all will recognize what I'm about to explain. He was that white dude that wanted to be the black dude. He wanted to be black. He wanted to learn how to do the kid and play and all that old shit. He wanted to learn he liked to try to get into the rap game. He listened to the rap music. Y'all know that's when white folks was just starting to get up into our music. Yeah. I was like a junior. No, I think I was a senior in high school. Long story short, this kid wanted to be like my little brother. I'd never really gone through no shit like that. I ain't never had no little white dude wanting to be my little brother. Now, believe it or not, this little white dude, we ended up becoming somewhat of a friend. It became a friendship. And I couldn't believe it at first because of how I grew up. Like, fuck this white boy. Okay, there's an agenda here. He gonna set me up. He gonna do something to me. If something go down, because y'all know how I was when I was a kid, I'd make a couple moves here and there. He wanted to be part of it. So I was like, well, I grew up thinking like if I get pinched or whatever you want to call it, something go down, this motherfucker gonna tell. So I had to gradually welcome him in. Well, long story short, my mama liked him. That's when shit got real. My mother was like, oh, Fred. His name was Fred. My mother liked little Fred. So she was like, no, little Fred, cool. He got your back. I seen him out there. He don't let nobody talk nothing about you, blah, blah, blah. So my mother took a little liking to the kid. So I let him come to the house and all that old shit. Guess what Fred little ass liked more than anything? He liked black soul food. He liked black people food. He liked my mama greens. He liked her stuffing and the chicken and the turkey. He liked all that type of shit. He even liked the way we made our peanut butter and jelly sandwich. It was just something always different. He just ate it up. He called me big bro all the time. He called my mother mom because he lived in the same high rise and he lived on the same floor. And I don't know how this shit got where it was, but it was weird. But it became regular for me. And he called my mother mom. And she kind of gravitated to him to the point where she would see him outside of some old shit and be like, Fred, we having such and such tonight. You gonna come eat with us? It used to burn me up. Used to fuck with me a little bit, be honest with you. He don't know nothing about no Regal hot dogs. Y'all know my mama. I'm going to sidebar this. My mama was a trip. My mama thought she was the only one. She thought her and the Regal had the best little hot dogs in the world. Like, she used to make her own Regal hot dogs to the point where she would go get the aluminum foil, wrap them up in the aluminum foil, and put them in the little thing so they'd get all steamed up. My mama was tripping. There's only one Regal hot dog. My mama was tripping. But anyway, she would invite him. And I'd be like, fuck, I got a chick coming over here tonight. I don't need this motherfucker playing over here. You know what I'm saying? But then, long story short, he get to doing the dance moves, trying to go to the skating rink with us. He became part of the clique. Now, y'all ain't gonna lie. Y'all ain't gonna believe this shit. Thank God for social media. Young folks don't know how great they have it today. I tell my kids this all the time because they can never lose a friend. You understand? Like back in our day, if you moved, Fuck it. You go get some new friends. I don't know him no more. I used to know the dude. I don't know what my friends in Oklahoma been up to. One of them is an announcer on ESPN, the Ishmael dude. I knew him from the 8th grade. He don't remember me. I'm sure he would remember me, but we ain't been friends. Today's world, social media, they can stay in touch. I wish I had that. But now let me tell you how Fred disappointed me. This is a true story, fam. Fred absolutely disappointed me. This is the same young man that used to call me big bro. This is the same young man that would come in and eat my mama's food. This is the same young man that called my mother mom. This is the same young man that used to get the fade and have his hair looking like Andy Dalton and all that old shit. He thought he was the Third Base. Y'all remember Third Base, the rap group? He thought he was third base. And do you know 25, 30 years later, well, it's been about 5 years since I've seen him on Facebook. This is the same young man that used to come in and eat my peanut butter and jelly. This motherfucker on Facebook, 30 years later, and I don't even know how I seen him. But his name is Fred. I don't remember. I deleted him out my mind. I pull his Facebook page up and this motherfucker is a Nazi. He a skinhead. I ain't gonna lie. It fuck with me. It messed with me for a minute because I was thinking I ought to go down and kick all them peanut butter and jelly sandwiches out your ass. He's on his Facebook page with a swastika on the back. Y'all know how they hang them up in the room? He's got the swastika on his arm. He's thirsty to be part of something. Last time I seen him in person, he was, yeah, bro, and this and bro. What happened is he took his ass back to America, went to the damn Georgia, and they looked at his ass crazy and said, who the fuck you think you are? That's what happened. And he turned redhead white boy all over again and had to be part of something again. Y'all get what I'm saying to you? This young man was lost. I wouldn't be the man I am today if I wouldn't admit to you that he became a friend. He became a friend of mine back then. He became a true little brother to me. I wouldn't let nobody mess with him. He was cool. He was third base. He would carry my records and do all the shit. He was a good little dude, okay? But it blew my mind, even to the point where I had to revisit that Facebook page 2 days after I seen it. I was highly disappointed. Never even told my mother. Because I told my mama, don't fuck with him. I told my mama it ain't gonna work out. Back then in high school. She didn't listen. But now let me explain something to you. That young man was a follower. I know for a fact because I probably could have got him to do anything. I didn't. I didn't take advantage of my manipulative powers. And I'm going to say something to you. 2 days after I discovered that he was on the Facebook and he became a Nazi or skinhead, it took me 2 days to go back to that website page or his Facebook page. And on one of his little posts that he put out, I don't even remember what it said. But I put in the screen, I answered it. Had nothing to do with the post. I think it was, you know, when you put your Facebook page up and you put a new picture up. I don't know what that's called. When you put a new picture up and you say, hey, Randall Wyatt's put a new Facebook picture up. He put his picture up and it was that picture of him standing behind the swastika and shit. I didn't even want to say as much as, I didn't want to dignify it. I didn't want to profile. Thank you, Catherine. I didn't want to dignify it by saying too much because I had a whole lot I wanted to say. But the truth of the matter is I kept it real simple. I kept it classy. And I kept it from my heart. I wanted to say everything about my bologna sandwiches, all that shit. All the meals you ate. All the big bros you said to me, I left all that shit inside of me. And all I said to him on that post was, it's a shame how time can change a person. Now, deep down inside, I'm going to be honest with you. I give everybody the benefit of the doubt. I give everyone the benefit of the doubt. I don't know what Fred's been through. I don't know his makeup of his grandmother, grandfather. I don't know if his mother and them died in Germany or Europe somewhere and he had to go back to Georgia. I don't know what the circumstances were to lead him into that lifestyle of skinhead. I don't know. Don't really matter, but he ended up there. All I can tell you is this. Something damaged him. Something damaged that dude. Something put him in a space. And he never answered. He never sent a text back to me. He know who I am. I'm a hard guy to forget. I mean, I'm just being honest with you. Like from high school. If you knew me in high school, there's a couple people that know me from high school, from over in Europe, that watch the show. They know me. They tell me all the time, like, you the same person. Yeah, pretty much. But when I sent that post to him, like it's funny how time can change a person. He never responded back. He never responded back. He never acknowledged the fact. And everybody knows when you send a post to their profile or whatever, any post that you answer or whatever, they see it. But I'm going to tell you something that I probably did more to him than he could ever do to me. The simple fact that Big Bro answered that post and said, it's a shame how time can change a man, change a person. That probably cut him harder than all of what I was thinking myself. Because that motherfucker know that I would make sure he was taken care of. He was cool. I mean, I kept him cool. I kept him. I guarantee you he couldn't say a word. He couldn't say nothing to me. See, if I would have been some ignorant ass black dude that made a comment about his position in life at that time, he would have had everything he needed to justify his hate for me or for you, for any of us of color. Let me tell y'all something that I learned in life. It comes with this little short time that I've been here. Every OG that I've ever had in my life that really meant something to me added equity to me. I don't surround myself with people that are going to put me in a position where I have to second guess the right thing to do. I don't do that. I outgrew that 30 years ago. I don't surround myself with people that don't teach me something. If I'm the smartest man in the room, damn it, I'm in the wrong room. I learned that 30 years ago and I've been practicing that. Let me explain something to you, what I've learned from my OGs. My favorite OG of all time with this saying here was Leroy Jones in Cincinnati, Ohio. And he said, son, you'll never be able to do all the things that you want to do in life. There's going to be some people that's going to hold you back. There's going to be some people that tell you you can't do it. There's going to be some people that's going to just misdirect you for what you want to do, what you want to say, how you want to feel. They don't want to see you accomplish anything. But he also said there are going to be some people with some hidden agendas and some motives that are going to use some sticks to stop you. Keep in mind, I'm a young motherfucker. I'm a young dude when he said that. But you know what Mr. Jones always told me? He always said this. Now, I'm probably 18, 19 years old when he was telling me this. He said, you got to learn how to beat them with their own sticks, son. The sticks that they put down to stop you with, you got to learn how to beat them with their own sticks. Now, some people will understand what I mean by that. And then some people, it might take a little longer because they haven't gotten to a point in life. You've been there. We all have been there. We all been to a place where somebody was telling us something before we were ready to hear it. And the term beat them with their own stick is this. A lot of people sit back and talk about how we being oppressed and we getting this and we ain't getting that. I've learned to beat the people with their own stick. I've learned to put myself in a position where you can't say no to me. I add equity to whatever I'm bringing to the whatever I want. I don't need it from just you. If you put yourself in a position of being leveraged, you're not in the right room. You're not in the right circles. Are you telling me that I can't get a bank loan when there's 25 banks that I can apply to? Are you telling me that I can't do something? I can't get a mortgage for that property over there when in fact there's 200 mortgage companies that I qualify for? See, there's a difference between somebody holding you back and you not knowing the information you need to know to be successful. The truth of the matter is the lack of information is more that's harder on you than somebody trying to stop you from doing what you're trying to do in life. There's only one person, 2 people, 10 people trying to stop you, but there's 200 sources somewhere else. I stopped listening to that shit a long time ago. I stopped making up excuses and falling in line for motherfuckers telling me what I could and what I couldn't do a long time ago. And there's always going to be somebody that can argue the point. There's always going to be somebody that's going to be able to tell you, well, see, like, for instance, I'm going to give you a real example. Larry Elder went on the Breakfast Club show and he destroyed Charlemagne the God. Destroyed him. And then Larry Elder gets into a situation where now he doesn't have what he needs to get in the debate stage. He don't know how to write donations or the count to get on the debate stage for the Republican Party's debate. So now Charlemagne the God turns around. You got to understand, Charlemagne the God is a millionaire. He's a smart guy. He utilizes his platform to reach those that he can pull into his I want to be respectful. So now Charlemagne the God turns Larry Elder into donkey of the day. Why is Larry Elder donkey of the day? Because what Larry Elder told Charlemagne and his audience is all you got to do is work hard. If you work hard, then you can accomplish what you want to accomplish. You know who I always hear that who I always hear that from? I hear that from successful people all the time. I don't hear people that's unsuccessful saying that shit. They just don't say that. They don't say, oh, if I work hard, I'm going to be successful. They just don't say that. Now, I'm not suggesting that there's some people that haven't no, there's some people that say it that haven't got there yet. But I'm talking about people who say it's foolish. It's foolish to think all you got to do is work hard. Remember, we had that conversation before. So Charlemagne the God makes Larry Elder donkey of the day because he's suing. Because Larry Elder is now suing the Republican, I don't know, is it the GOP or some shit like that? He's suing them because they're saying he didn't have enough donations or enough people to vote for him or, enough entries for him to get on the debate stage. And that gives Charlemagne the God, it gives him the ammunition for his type of crowd to prove to Larry Elder in some cynical kind of way that, see, Larry, I don't feel sorry for you. I don't feel sorry for you, Larry Elder, because all you had to do was work harder and they wouldn't have done you like that. Well, the truth of the matter is, anybody that has any level of intelligence can hold any type of argument. You can bring any failure or any type of thing that you don't accomplish. You can always blame it on whatever you want to blame it on. It don't necessarily have to be proven that because the GOP did you like that is because that was your nigga wake up call. See what I'm saying? Because that's what they were going back and forth about. The truth of the matter is Larry Elder broke one of the rules according to the rule book of the GOP debate, whatever it is. He broke a rule. So they couldn't count some of the votes or some of the entries They couldn't count him. So now let's talk about why he couldn't get on. Let's not talk about that he's not on. Let's not make up something other than what it really is, because when you do that, then you got to tell the truth about what really happened. It wasn't because they didn't want to see his black ass on the stage. To be honest with you, there was guys up there. Look, Larry Elder was never going to be voted president of the United States. He's very limited in his arguments. All his arguments is about black people. Okay? If they really didn't care about black people, they would have let his black ass up on stage. Because he's the one that's going to say what the black folks don't want to hear. So they would let him up on the stage and make a mockery of himself. Talk about the 70% of lack of fathers in the home. That's his spiel. That's what he talk about. He has no solutions for that problem. So why wouldn't they want his dumb ass, why wouldn't they want him up there saying some dumb shit like that? What solutions to the economy have you ever heard Larry Elder talk about? What has Larry Elder ever said outside of what he says about black folks that has been sufficient to black folks? I mean, that works and makes sense for us. Let me see. Emmanuel Livingston says, but if Larry Elder says, if you work hard, then you will succeed, and he doesn't succeed, doesn't that mean that he isn't working hard enough? It all depends. Yes. Yes, it could very well mean that. I don't see what the problem is. I could say the same thing. You could say the same thing, E. We all could say that as black people and white people. But if you don't succeed at being something because you broke a rule, it may not be because you black. It may not be because you white. It's because you broke a rule. And it's not like he did it with malice. There was a stipulation saying you couldn't be affiliated with another candidate. Let's put it in proper context. Let's not just say, oh, because he failed, it was because they wanted him to. And let's not try to compare what other people are able to do and what we can't do. For instance, I'll give you a perfect example. One of the candidates gave, now I'm going to tell y'all where we should have slam dunked this dude. I'm going to show y'all where we could have slam dunked. I don't know the candidate's name, but one of the candidates gave a $20 gift card for a $1 donation. You understand what I'm saying? He gave a $20 gift card for a $1 donation. Now let me ask y'all something. Why didn't we send in 30,000? Why didn't you send $10 in? Why didn't you, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, but Larry Elder is saying those are breaking the rules. You're buying votes, but it's not against the rule. If you didn't think to do that, that's on you. But what the stipulations were, he fell in the part of you can't be part of another person. You can't poll in another person's, like, I think he had some Trump affiliation or something, some poll. They had something that was together, and it disqualified quite a bit of his donations towards the 40,000 that he needed or something like that, or 30,000, whatever it was 30 or 40,000 that he needed. He fairly got disqualified. That is not a nigga wake-up call. You broke a rule that's in writing. It wasn't something they wrote an addendum to. They didn't create it after they seen you qualified. He broke a rule that you're not allowed. He's not the only one that didn't make the debate stage. He's not the only one. Larry Elder will never be the president of the United States of America. He'll never get enough support. That don't mean that the guys don't say the right thing. It don't mean that they don't have the right intentions about certain things, but you'll never get the support of the country. That's just in my opinion. No, you're not. You're not, E. I'm about to run it right now. Are you going on today, E? Because I'm about to show this little clip. and prove my point. Okay? E said, I'm mad because I'm going to miss the person who said something on the show. I blame Larry Elder and the Nazi from Georgia. No, don't be mad. Just stick around for a couple more seconds. I started a little bit late. I started at 10 after, so I'll go till 10 after. But let me, and E said he's going on so y'all stick around. I'm not sure. I think he's going on at 3. I don't know if he's running late or what. But let me show you this. First, I'm going to call the person out, but let me cue up my video. All right? I know some of y'all stuck around listening to my Nazi situation, and just because y'all wanted to hear me go off on somebody. And I'm going to give you what you've been waiting on right now. All right, over on Emmanuel Livingston show, I believe it's on Friday. This is why I get tired of some of y'all folks. You call up Wyatt show, you call up over here, we cool. We bump heads just a little bit, then we agree to disagree at the end. We even high five, we be cool. Now, my man Fame called us on Friday talking about some other shit, right? Fame called in, said some things, whatever. I agreed, I disagreed, I agreed, disagreed. Then we was like, okay, cool. It is what it is, right? Then he go over on Emmanuel Livingston show. What does he do over on Emmanuel Livingston show? He go over there and he over there and blast me. He say some shit like this. He say, I can't stand to hear another man, especially a black man, talk crazy and try to defend the Trump dude. And E-Man was like, well, what are you talking about? He was like, your man's, I know you and your man's 100 grand and all that old shit he talking. He was like, your man's Wyatt over there defending Trump. What have I ever said on here that was defensive to Trump's case? Here's the crazy thing about that. The crazy thing about him making that comment is he has a guy. Y'all know Drop Squad 52. Drop Squad 52 and Fame are the alt middle. They brothers. Now, who come on this motherfucking show screaming about Donald Trump all day, defending Donald Trump's positions and all that shit? Who come on this show screaming about Donald Trump, 24 Trump? Who come over here talking all that shit all day, every day? Drop call almost every other day, if not every day. He don't call every day, but y'all know what I'm saying. And he's always defending the green, orange guy, whatever y'all call him. Green, orange, the orange guy, whatever. He don't say shit about him. He put it on me. He put it on me like I'm the one over here that is defending Donald Trump. He said it on E's show. Now, I didn't told you, Fame, keep my name out your mouth, making shit up. So I got to bring receipts to you, brother. Today is receipt day. I got 6 minutes. I got 8 minutes left. Today is receipt day. The day that you see me defending Donald Trump, I might sound like some of these videos that I'm about to, these little small real clips that I'm about to show you. These are real black folks defending Donald Trump, not me. Not me. I might defend some shit that I see that is very transparent in what's going on. I don't like how a court procedure is being handled. I don't like the fact that I see some black folks putting their career on the line for some liberals, some white liberals. I don't like that. My argument is totally different. My argument is for the defense of the people that's putting their career on the line and doing some shit that I don't agree with. Are you going to be there to save them? Oh, wait a minute. I tell you what. If the prosecutor don't win her case and something turns around and she gets sued civilly, when she write her book, I expect you to buy 5 copies because she's going to need every dime of it. Now, when you see me on the air talking like this, brother, right here, I'm going to give you an example of people who cheer for Trump or defend Trump. You ain't never heard me come on here and say none of the shit that I'm about to show you. You ain't never heard me come on here and say nothing like this. But watch this video. Watch this reel. Watch this clip.
When are you guys gonna learn? The more you indict, the more we unite.
Shout out to this guy. He's speaking facts.
It's Trump 2024. We don't care. You heard me? We already made our mind up. You already know when the hood got your back. Man, they deep in the hood. Gangsters hollering about Trump 2024. You heard me? Woo, woo.
Facts.
Wah. Gangsters. The hood got this man back.
Come on now.
I'm trying to tell you. You heard me? And we ain't stupid, man. American people, man. We ain't all them talking about lockdowns and back when the mask and all that. You know, they got a new virus coming and it's gonna be, man, nobody don't care. Ain't fooling nobody no more with none of that. You know, new jack, man, nobody being fooled no more. We all the way up, you heard me? It's Trump 2024. That's what it's gonna be, cause we ain't having nothing else.
Anybody ever heard me say any shit like that? Or are we going to sit here and act like black folks don't support Trump? Some of you do support him and just scared to say so. But meanwhile, you taking your ass to the grocery store, getting taken up top by these policies that's put in place. Now, let me ask you this. How many of y'all seen actual footage video of what black folks were saying when he left that, when Trump left that Georgia jail? Fulton County Jail. Did y'all see the cars going by? Did you hear the hood? This is what that man was talking about when he said the hood. When he said that the people in the hood are going for Trump now. Have you seen these videos yet? Have y'all seen it? CNN ain't gonna show it. MSNBC ain't gonna show it. And I'm gonna show y'all something. This is how this shit is starting to backfire. Because don't nobody in this country know some bullshit that come out of the courts better than black folks. We know all that shit. We know how motherfuckers get done in these courtrooms better than anybody. And this indictment shit is starting to backfire. There's a lot of black folks that's coming up like, whoa, this shit, hey, bro, this shit ain't looking right. This shit is some bullshit. Wait a minute, hold on. This is some bullshit. I'm going to show you this video right here and you tell me what's wrong with it. Since I got his back and all that old shit, this is what is going on out there. You ain't never heard me supporting him, but I'm going to show you what's going on out here. I'm going to show you a little bit more. Here's another receipt.
I said, man.
The hood support Trump now. Oh boy, it's getting good.
Which one are you in, though?
Free Trump. Democrats stepped in at this time. Get your popcorn ready.
I'm talking about they got everybody.
2024 gonna be a movie, baby.
Look at that fucked up.
Not me. It's not me saying it, but it's all over. Did anybody show y'all the videos? Did anybody show y'all the videos when Trump was leaving the courthouse or leaving the jail? Anybody show y'all those? When have I ever got on here and showed videos or was defending the Trump guy like he was some type of king or something of that nature? Never. Never. There's just some people that's just going to tell you how they feel regardless if you like it or not. That's just how it goes. Everybody's not afraid to be the outcast of the crowd. Everybody's not afraid to be said, I'm like, you like him? You stupid. You dumb. You stupid. You dumb. Everybody don't fall for that lunchroom 6th grade bullshit. There's some people grown and they don't care about all that shit. I heard the other day, I think it was on, I don't know, what day was it? Thursday or Friday. And they were asking the question. I don't know if it was on radio. Somebody was asking the question and they was like, why is the population of black men in America supporting Trump? Is it really they're supporting Trump or are they supporting conservative ways of life and policy? I don't know. I don't know. I don't get it. But hey, it is what it is. So my thing is, unless you can tell me, like I asked you, Fame, how am I supporting Trump? You couldn't give me the answer then. You never answered me when I asked you, how am I supporting this man? What do I don't even bring him up unless I hear something from the radio talking about him. I don't even talk about him. But what does it tell you when a group of people can't stop talking about the other person? They don't talk about the things that they going through. They don't talk about the things that is disturbing or making their life more expensive and all that. They just talk about the shit that's been put in front of them for the optics. The optics. They want to talk about the indictments. But they ain't telling you any details. You still don't know what's in the 527. You still don't know what the evidence is. You still don't know. You know what the allegations are. There's a difference between the allegations and the actual evidence. Some of us don't know the difference. They mean the same. If you're charged with something, you must be guilty. Well, I tend to wait for the evidence to come out. Because in this world, in America, it's just like that's why those big Inquirer magazines. The Inquirer, what's that? Those tabloids. They make so much money off the ignorance of people. They can't wait to hear some bullshit about a celebrity. And that's what they talk about. They have no proof. There's no evidence. They got a couple photos and shots. These tabloids been making money off of people since the day they opened up. And then when the shit turned out to be false, it don't matter. They done made $20 million and now they got to pay the person that they made a fool of $2-3 million. They still hit a $17 million lick. If you're not smart enough to see the smoke screen or smart enough to see what's going on, that's on you. I'm only going to say what I say one time. If you don't get it, you just don't get it. You caught up in optics. I seen a lot of black folks on the streets in Atlanta and Fulton down there talking about some free Trump. I don't know if y'all heard that shit. But I didn't make this clip up. This is something that's trending as it's blowing up out there. So you take it the way you want to take it. I know what I heard. I know what I seen. I know what I believe. Peace and love to everybody. That's my time. I'll see you guys tomorrow
Ready on the right. Ready on the left. Attention all personnel. Keep this frequency clear.
a song.